What is up, guys, and welcome to the Dad's Life Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. I'm your host, Sean Flack 2.0, and we had to take a little summertime hiatus, due to dad life basically kicking in. But here we are back at it again, talking about all things dad, and so welcome to the show. Before I get into today's topic, which I did post on Facebook, basically talking about self-care, and I think I've talked about this before, but it's just something that's come up very recently. So we're going to revisit it again. It's always a good place to start. But again, I'd like to thank everybody that is sent me messages and checked in on me to kind of see what's going on with the podcast and the blog and all that stuff. Again, just a little bit of a life update, dad life. Basically, that's all I can say. Dad life. It's a lot of things change with work, and the kids are getting older. So again, just a lot going on. Anyway, I'd like to start off the show basically saying that we're going to be starting with a new format. It's going to be 3 segments. The first segment I'm going to start off with is there's nothing good in the news, so what's good and new with you? So I'd like to reach out to all the listeners. Anything like that, like to hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. That's Sean Flack 2.0 on Facebook or at Sean Flack on Twitter. Go ahead and follow me. Just hashtag what's good and new or good and new. And basically, I'd like to hear from you. I'll share something that's good and new with me. And then I'll like to get some feedback and some comments from you that I'll be talking about on next week's show. Follow me at Sean Flack on Twitter or Sean Flack 2.0 on Facebook. Go ahead and like the page, join the community. That'd be much appreciated. And then I'm going to go into the topic because I definitely want to talk about some type of parental dad topic or something like that. Just to kind of keep things relevant, kind of like what's new and, what's in the news for being a parent, being a dad, being a mom. This is all really relative, but again, just want to have a place for the dads to come and, check out some stuff. And then I'm going to end off the segment called Holla at Your Homie. And basically, you're going to shout out to, everybody that I know that's in my little network that does something. Either, they're entrepreneur, own a restaurant, they cater, they do flowers. Of course, all the media stuff, all my streamer buddies and all that stuff, all my rappers, all my artists, all those things. I'll be taking a segment, a little portion of the show to kind of talk about you guys and basically show support for other people that are supporting you. And I know I've done that in the past, and you see all these posts from all these different people or whatever the case is, but I would like to take time in the show to really, really talk about it and really showcase the fact that, we're not big name, but that doesn't mean we're not big, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so let's get right into it. What is good and new? What is good and new? So what's good and new with me is 14 has started high school. So that's new. Is it necessarily good? Not really. We've had basically a rough start at high school. He's in the 9th grade. And, he's feeling himself. He thinks he's a man. So what's new is definitely the fact that, we have a teenager in high school. And, yeah, that's the big thing is, he started high school. Tell me, if you guys got kids out there or whatever that have started high school, what is your first impressions, or have you by this time? I think by the time this airs, most kids have went back to school by this time. What's new and good with the school? My son, he joined the ROTC program and he's in theater. Those are 2 of his big electives that, he wanted to do theater, but then we said, okay, if you're going to do theater, then you're going to do ROTC. It's been a rocky couple of weeks because he actually has year-round school, so he actually started like a month ago. Just something new. And it's a new experience. New experiences are good. Not saying that it's the easiest transition from middle school to high school, but it is what it is. So I'll keep you updated on that, how I'm feeling about that. And then when I did post up what's good and new on Facebook and on Twitter, a lot of people got back to me. A lot of silver linings, a lot of things that make you smile, make you go, while I'm recording this, it's September 10th. So a lot of the things that are on my Facebook page that are on my stream are talking about 9/11, 2001, and basically to be, love and hug your loved ones, kiss them, love them, because you never know, 3,000 people, tonight 18 years ago spent the last time with their family getting ready to go to work, prepare for flight, all these things. So, there's a lot of that going on my stream. So yeah, just never forget about that, and nothing is promised for tomorrow. So hug your kids, hug your wife, tell them, hug your family, tell them you love them, because you never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, a lot of people being out there being grateful for the things that they have, and just a really good, different feed to see, when I pose that question. So definitely reach out to me again on Facebook and on Twitter. Tell me what's good and new with you, and we'll talk about what you guys got to say next week. Next, let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is based upon an article out of Science Daily that talked about parental burnout is real. Go ahead and check out the article. I'll leave a link below if you're following on Facebook. It's already been posted on the Sean Flag 2.0 page, and I'll make sure I leave a link to Twitter along with a link to the show for you guys to check out. But basically, it's a real quick, maybe 2-3 minute read, and it is a study that was done like in the UK, where they actually made parents take surveys over the course of however many amount of time. And it was 3 phases, and I believe it was they first started off with like 2,000 plus people taking the survey, and then it kind of by the time they got to the third step, it kind of dwindled down to like 200 or whatever. And they're basically asking real personal questions about being a parent, and as time went by, like, what are the deciding factors? How are you feeling? All this stuff. And basically it said that, parental burnout is real. Like your mental state as a parent is real, and it's something that I'm kind of dealing with personally. Again, with such a rough transition from middle school to high school, along with 2 and 3. So it's real rough. It's a rough patch right now. But as parents, as dads, a lot of us, we try to be real tough and not really try to show those emotions. But in turn, we internalize a lot of this stuff. We don't try to say much about it or anything like that, because we are supposed to be the strong one. We're not supposed to be, let things affect us or whatever the case is. And it does. And, as dads, we need to realize that we are suffering through, mental stress when we are dealing with the kids, when we are dealing with, being a parent, just in general. And some of us, me and my wife, or, maybe you have a domestic partner, or, you're co-parenting, with a blended family, or whatever the case is. As parents, you really have to take time for yourself and do things that you love. And again, that's what this channel was about, was creating something to share and speaking of a message that revolved around what it meant to me about being a dad. And, I want to be as strong and as, not only physically strong, but mentally strong for my kids. Because I know, like, I have blowouts. And, yeah, it's, like I said, it's not a fun thing to sit there and snap. And, I'm guilty of that. You're just like, oh, my God, go sit down, or like, what do you want? And, you really, have to be able to identify, those red flags and know that you are being mentally attacked by these little crumb snatchers. And especially if you have a teenager, you're definitely mentally tested. But if that's the case, you need to identify that, and you need to make sure that you're finding that balance, that you don't get burnt out. Now, according to the article, a lot of the things are, symptoms, or when you do get burnt out, you want to run. It's called escapist, or whatever the article had said. And how you want to just leave. And having that real feeling of just wanting to leave, just want to give up, could lead to either neglect of the child or children, or potentially violence. Maybe, doing something crazy. And this stuff is real, and this stuff is not, it's not a joke. And, there's parents out there that are, very, very strong, and they have this perception of, I need to be able to do this myself. And that's not the case. Like, if there's help out there, go get it. Somebody's saying they want to help you, don't be too prideful, take it. take the time out for yourself. That's a message that, I try to live, like, okay, of course, when you need help, I need to make sure I'm available to help you back, if I can in a certain situation, or I need to be able to help myself by identifying the fact that I am getting burnt out and, you do need a break. Now, with that, I'm not saying you need to take a break every Friday and go out to the club or whatever the case is, but prolonged mental stress, isolation, it's a big thing. It's a big thing, especially with stay-at-home moms. That's another thing that's been popping up on my feeds. Is there is a bunch of stay-at-home moms that I follow on Twitter that do blogging and all that stuff, and they do talk about that. There's a lot of moms that are on Facebook. Same thing. Stay at home. I'm not gonna say there's a lot of stay-at-home moms, but the few that I do follow, they stress that all the time too. Like, I'm stressed out. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And the consensus is if you take care of yourself, you're automatically gonna take care of your kids. Because if you're so mentally burnt that you can't even take care of your kids, you're gonna be feeling guilty that you can't take care of them. You're gonna be feeling burnt. You're gonna be feeling so stressed, and you really have to. It is imperative to all the parents to really take time and keep your hobby, and really take time, or go for a walk, go to the gym if it's for like 30 minutes. Go to the coffee shop and sit for 30 minutes, play on your phone or your computer just by yourself. If not every day, every other day. Like, it is very, very imperative. Something that, I try to stress to the wife. I'm gonna tell you, I love her to death, but boy, she's a Taurus and she is stuck in her ways. I love her to death, but I wish she would, take some advice and take advantage of that more and more often. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that is, preventing some of this stuff. Unfortunately, the Wicked Wahine, she's a little out of commission. She's in a cast right now, so her mobility is limited. So that's also weighing on the situation at home. So under normal circumstances, it's already going to be hard to be a parent. And when you have additional things on top of, that is definitely when you need to take time to be like, hey, let me do something. Let me go out and, again, accept the help, or go out and do something for yourself. Because being a stay-at-home mom, number one, as tough as it is one of the hardest jobs, thankless jobs in the business. Every stay-at-home mom doesn't want to say that, but they don't want to seem like they're complaining, because not that many people nowadays get to do that, or even stay-at-home dads. Let's just be very clear. It's gotten really expensive to live, and usually both parents are working. And so society in itself doesn't want to hear about the stresses of what stay-at-home parents have going on, when in actuality, that's a 24/7 job that doesn't stop. You don't get no breaks, you don't get no lunches, and I've said this before. But again, take that time. Take that time for yourself. Again, as a dad, because I know it's really hard for us to express emotion, and I'm just, I guess, being typical man about it. Like, maybe there are more men out there that are emotional and that, are able to control or express the way they feel, but 85-90% of us aren't that way. So yeah, like I said, take care of yourself. The more you take care of yourself, the more time that you find that balance that keeps you balanced. As long as it ain't crack, as long as it's not drugs, is what keeps you balanced. Do something healthy for yourself. Create something. Journal, read books. Watch a TV show, enjoy some coffee, go for a walk. Whatever it is, make sure you take some time for yourself. As long as the kids are in a safe place, they'll be fine. They'll be fine without you for a couple hours, half the day, or the whole day if it may be. Maybe you want to do a weekend with the fellas, weekend with the girls once in a while. Hey, you gotta really take time for yourself. So again, the happier you are with your situation, the better you're able to attack and deal with other situations as they arise, and better for the kids, better for the family. So, all right, moving on. We're gonna holla at your homie. So I know it's a little corny, but moving on to the next section, holla at your homie again. It's just about showing support for people that are out here that may not necessarily have like a big network of people, or they do, and it's just my own personal way to show support to the people that I know personally that are out there doing things they love, hustling, either making it a side hustle or just doing it to do it. And this week, I got a couple people lined up, and I'm going to be reaching out to some of you guys if you guys are listening to this. This week, because he just recently dropped an album, we're going to be talking about S. Serta or Serta. I think I talked about him last year about his album that he dropped. I believe it was called Nice to Meet You. So the new album that just dropped this past week is called Have You Been? And he's a rapper. He's a rapper that's based out of Oakland. He moved out of state for a while, so right now he's out of state. But he's still repping the Bay. I got much respect for him. I know rap is not for everybody. And but what impresses me about this gentleman is what he does off the mic. Like, I think I put a post up that talked about it. About, he has an album called Have You Been? Go ahead and check it out. I had got it on iTunes. It was $6.99 on iTunes. And number one, let's just be honest, to support somebody that that's out there really trying to put some stuff out there. $6.99 is less than a cheeseburger Happy Meal at McDonald's. So, the money wasn't the issue. It's more the support. So again, it's called How You've Been by S. Serta. You can find it on all the streaming stuff. You can find it on all the iTunes, Google, I believe Spotify. You could purchase the album. I purchased it. Again, it's less than the cost of a Big Mac meal from McDonald's. So, not the big deal there. Again, to show some love, show some support. But what I want to talk about, again, his music, again, is not for everybody. Just like everybody doesn't like country. Everybody doesn't like. But again, I'm urging you, support these young folks that are out here trying to, do their thing. But again, what really impresses me about this gentleman is the fact that he is a dad. If everybody's had a rough patch, let's be very clear. Everybody's had a rough patch in their life. They made bad decisions. And then, I've known him since before he had his son. And what always draws me to him, regardless of their, again, he's living his lifestyle the way he does and made some decisions that, weren't the best, but he really clawed his way out, and really went to the next level, got his stuff together. And the main thing that I see that I always respect about him is the fact that his son was always forefront. Now, maybe that's what I just saw when I was on Facebook, and, that's whatever. And that's just a story you see. Obviously, there are more sides to every story. But the things that I saw that I love about this guy is the fact that no matter where he was, it was always about his son. It was always about trying to be the best dad he could be, if it was either far or near. And again, just hats off to this young man. And I say young because I feel like I'm old, but I don't think I'm that much older than him. But like I said, he's out there still chasing his dream, still taking care of his business, like I said, he's clawing his way back up. He's definitely on the up and up, and out here in the studio dropping the rhymes. And like I said, to me, that's very important to show people that, you still can get support, around the world, nationwide, whatever the case is. Just some random folks that are out there listening to a podcast that's, little business as well. But again, and these are the types of people that I want to showcase. The ones that have a passion for what they do. Number one, that are chasing a dream, but also doing their best they can to be with their kids. I'd say hats off. That's why I decided to have him number one on this segment, was because of what he's done off the mic. And I really hats off to him. And I'm hoping, I went out and bought everything that he had on iTunes at the time. And then I went ahead and supported him with this album. I will try and post. I will link link a link. I can't even speak right now. It's getting late. Put a link in the bio. Make sure wherever I post it, I also add the link to go check them out on iTunes. Again, check them out. Give them a listen. Stream them. Again, $6.99 on iTunes is nothing. Like I said, if you go anywhere, and you purchase a cheeseburger Happy Meal or something, you're at least going to be spending $10. So again, to support this artist, and kind of let him know that he has love from folks out there, from that Sean Flack 2.0 Dad's Life community that we're building or doing our best to build. He's a dad as best he can be. And he's doing, you see the birthday parties, and again, just the things that I've seen is just hats off to this man. Anyway, so check him out, S.Serta. Have you been iTunes? Like I said, iTunes, Spotify for sure. And check out all his old stuff too. Show him some love. Tell him Sean Flack 2.0 sent you. I think he has a Facebook page. I don't think he does. Anyway, that's basically all the time we have for today's episode. Again, I hope you like the new format. Again, if you're still listening after the 3 months hiatus, I do appreciate you. If you are new to the podcast, don't be afraid to check me out on anchor.fm. Where I'm actually hosting if you have an Anchor account, follow me on that. Again, you could also go to SeanFlack.com, where I'll have links to the show, links to the YouTube page, and the blog is also posted there, along with other projects that I'm working on, slowly but surely trying to chase my own dream. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Flack, and of course, Facebook, Sean Flack 2.0. Join the Dad's Life community there. There's a community group connected to that. Shout out to everybody that has supported me and checked me out and checked in on me. Again, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully we'll be talking again soon in the next episode. And until then, have a nice day. Peace.